Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Gargi Raut. Joining me for this live is Shubhayan Chakrabarti, Bharat Ramraj, and Shomik Chakrabarti. In the morning live, we were discussing about the India under 19 versus Bangladesh under 19 game. Unfortunately, as Rohit was predicting, rain has hit the game. There is a rain delay at the moment, but we got to see some really good batting. Once from Vaibhav Suryavanshi, unfortunately for Ayush Matre, another early end to his innings. Then Abhigyan as well coming out with a 63 off of 90 balls. He's still not out, but let's see if rain uh, permits the Indian batters to come back in and score some more runs. Only 38 overs up till now, so still some time to go past that 250 run mark and possibly get a really competitive total against Bangladesh. Shubayan, how are you looking at this game? We got to saw, like I said, 38 overs so far, but what are your thoughts?
I think, again, as I said yesterday, also the middle order needs to step up. This team is slowly becoming very heavily reliant on Vaibhav Suryavanshi and Abhigyan Kundu. Ayush Matre has been short of runs for a while now. So he also needs to get his act right. But I'm just worried about the entire middle order failing time and again. Uh, Only Vaibhav Suryavanshi and Abhigyan Kundu are carrying this batting lineup, which doesn't augur well for such a talented team, and especially when the team moves to the second stage or the final stages of this tournament. So the batting is something which I'm worried about, and even in this match, if the scores are revised as per DLS, then I don't know. Maybe Bangladesh will have to chase around 200 220 from here on if the Indian batting does not conclude. So a tricky spot. So let's see how it goes.
Shomik, how are you looking at this game? Like Shubayan said, there seem to be some problems when it comes to the batting lineup. Two of them last time around as well in the game against USA under 19. It was Abhigyan Kundu who was the highest scorer. This time around, it's the similar story. Weber Suryavanshi and Abhigyan carrying the team. What are your thoughts?
Gargi, Shubhan mentioned Ayush Matre, and I just ditto it because I keep repeating and paraphrasing a David Gower quote. It's of no use having your Bentley Continental parked without fuel. We all know Ayush Matre is a talented player, but he has already played at the senior level. He has played the Ranji Trophy. He has led Mumbai in the Buchibabu
Buchiba.
tournament. Buchibabu tournament. He has played the IPL for Chennai Super Kings. Now he is the captain, and he needs to pull his weight. Basically, I mean, it's been the follow period has been continuing for quite a long time, and at the business end of the tournament, when you will face serious opponents, when you will be in pressure situation, pressure games, you expect your captain to lead by example. So from that point of view, it's high time Ayush Matre start scoring some runs. The rain delay, see, at the rain delay, and eventually, I don't know whether it would be a washout, but that works to Bangladesh's advantage because shorter the game, it it sort of narrows the gap between the two sides. So from that point of view, a rain delay might work to Bangladesh's advantage. Let's see how it pans out. But once again, the skipper needs to lead from the front.
Your thoughts, Bharat?
Yeah, see, India under 19, I think, have done reasonably well, quite well to reach 190 in 38 overs because that pitch is not at all easy for batting. There's a little bit of variable bounce, there's a little bit of spongy bounce. Obviously, Vaibhav Suryavanshi is like a rough diamond. I think he's someone who is incredibly talented, picks the length quite quickly, and because of that, is able to play late. That pull stroke that he played encapsulates the point because it was only fractionally short. I think he was on 45 or whatever it was, 41. It was only fractionally short from that off spinner. He rocked back in a jiffy and pulled it with utter disdain, and it went soaring over the mid wicket boundary. That told everything you want to know about him being a rough diamond. Yes, he played a scintillating knock. Kundu early on, I think, struggled a little bit. because obviously the conditions were quite tough. But after that, he was able to. What he did well was he didn't throw his wicket away. Obviously, Suryavamshi playing all those shots helped him, but he didn't throw his wicket away. And after that, he reaped the rewards for staying out there, not gifting it away. So I think India have done really well to get to a score of 190. Obviously, some rain was expected in places like Harare, Bulawayo in January. You expect some rain because this is a rainy season in the southern hemisphere. One has to remember that. So hopefully there will be a little bit of moisture as well coming into play, which would help the Indian seamers. I do believe India have enough. There's just a belief that India have enough on the board in these conditions, and it would take a Herculean task from Bangladesh to chase down a target at over 5 runs per over. In those conditions, I think India have to bowl badly to lose this game.
Okay, so I've been looking at our comment section, and there's Krishma who's going on and on about Ryan and Doshkate and what he said about Rohit Sharma. So I think he said something along the lines of that the conditions weren't good enough for his style of play, and that he was short of cricket. I think that was the quote that Ryan and Doshkate said. But
No,
Krishna,
Gargi, I'm just
yeah,
picking it
you
up.
were
I'm
there.
just making it clear because I was
Yeah.
there and I wrote a copy on that yesterday also. Basically, what he said that Rohit Sharma at the end of the day is a touch player. If you look at Rohit Sharma this season from October when he went to Australia after post the Champions Trophy, it is like Rohit Sharma in terms of his approach, he is back to his pre 2023 vintage. Throughout his career, the 80% of his career or 90% of his career, Rohit Sharma preferred a slow burn. Rohit Sharma would set up his innings. He would play. He would start. He would start off slowly, and then he will pick up his pace, and gradually towards the end he would explode. And he scored more than 9,000 runs, ODI runs, and three double hundreds batting in that way. After that 2023 World Cup, we saw a different version of Rohit Sharma who will go gung ho irrespective of whatever the situation or circumstances, and he would lead by example. And it was a selfless act. Uh, he was ready to sacrifice his wicket for the sake of the team, but he will set the template, and here's the reason why there was a change in India's ODI batting template. Now this Rohit Sharma, after losing his captaincy, he is taking he has been Rohit Sharma of yore. So, is this a conscious change? To that question, Rant and Oshkata replied that I don't think it's a conscious change and he would never play for himself. But the first two matches, it was sort of a new ball wicket. But Rohit Sharma needs to play more between series because he is a touch player. And if he doesn't play more between series, and then he will lose that touch. So that was the gist of what he said. So basically, Rohit Sharma played two Vijay Hazare Trophy matches, and even in Bombay, there was a school of thought he could have played a couple more. Then again, at this stage of his career, you don't challenge Rohit Sharma. He knows. I mean, he is the best judge of his preparations. That's it. That
Okay.
was Rant and Doshkata's observation. Now
So
let's see.
But I don't agree. I don't agree with that assessment of from Ryan at least. In the South Africa series, Rohit had a strike rate of 85 and
85.
85, and I think he had the best strike rate among all the
Yes,
top order
yes.
opening
Shubhan,
batters.
I agree. I agree. If you look at the first phases, even during South Africa, I can give you an example in the first two matches against New Zealand. The
Hmm.
first game, in the first 15 balls, he scored 8 runs. In
But
Rajkot,
again, Kyle
in the
Jamieson has been bowling really well with the new ball.
yes,
If you look at
absolutely. And absolutely, Rant and Nashkata was right that those were new ball pitches. So second game, he scored 9 of first 15 balls. Even
Hmm.
against South Africa, if you look at the sample, if you take the sample sizes of first 15 or 20 balls, you would see,
Hmm.
and given Rohit's range, and he has a bigger range, he has a range bigger even than Virat Kohli, he would pick up the pace. What
Hmm.
he can do with that cricket bat, very few can. And the range and the areas he can play his shots, very few can. So that will do. But in terms of mindset, Shubhan, this is the question to you also from my side. Do you think, in terms of mindset, is there a change? Is as far as Rohit's batting is concerned, uh, starting this season, starting Australia, you are there in Australia also. So, starting this season, is there a change in mindset? I will not say a drop in intent, but is there a change in mindset?
But Shamikta, I think that has to go with what the team management or what the current captain wants from him as well. In 2023 version of Rohit Sharma, he was the captain of the team, and he decided that I will lead from the front, regardless of whether I fail or whether I succeed. I will go out and play in an attacking tempo. After that, there were question marks on his place in the team, his future in ODI cricket, etc., etc. And that is bound to get in some insecurity within yourself, whether if he's playing high risk cricket and he's failing, like the case in the last couple of matches. He has not scored more than 26 runs. I think 24 and 26 are his two scores in the last two matches, and suddenly you will see all talks around Rohit Sharma. Suddenly, before this series, everyone was pretty much assured that Rohit is going to play 2027 World Cup, but suddenly you see the talks around his strike rate, his intent, his template coming up, and many are even writing that if he does have a bad IPL, and a bad England tour, then you might never know, he might be dropped from the Indian team. So if there is when Rohit was the captain, he had that optimum ultimate security in the team, that I no matter what, I am going to be the first name in that team sheet. But now is the security given to him by the team management or by the captain or by the selectors, that we want you to play as you were playing in 2023, regardless whether you score 20 or 200, we will keep picking you till the 2027 World Cup. Don't worry about your place in the team. Unless that security is given from the selectors, team management, captain, I don't think any player, not even an Abhishek Sharma or a Webb of Suryavanshi or whoever it is, Travis Head or whoever it is, no one will go out and start hammering the ball and risking his wicket, because you might be your question might be your place might be under questions after a couple of failures, which is currently happening on social media regarding Rohit Sharma. So I think that has to come from the team management and captain, that भाई आप खेलो जैसे आप 2023 में खेल रहे थे, आपका पोजीशन है, you play as how you want to play. We are not touching you till the 2027 World Cup period. That is, I don't think that is the case. The question marks around
Exactly.
his future, long term future, is still there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Very well
But
said.
Uh,
Over to you, Gargi.
having said that, Shamika, I don't think Rohit has completely changed the nature of his aggressive style of batting. You see his strike rate; it's still hovering around 100. In 2023 World Cup, I think his strike rate was 120, 125 on an
126.
average. 120,
126. Yeah.
126, which is, if Rohit plays a longer innings, he will end up having a strike rate of more than 126, which used to
100.
be the template of Rohit Sharma of the past. So I
Yes.
don't think he's still scoring boundaries in the power play. Even Shubman has, after getting dropped from the T20 World Cup, he has also started slow. But having said that, Kyle Jamieson, Zachary Fox, other New Zealand bowlers, they have bowled really, really well with the new ball in
Exactly.
this series, especially Kyle Jamieson.
yeah. Well, staying on the topic of India versus New Zealand, tomorrow's the third ODI series decider as well. Bharat, at this point, uh, what do you think when it comes to the Indian team? Do you think they can seal the series tomorrow?
Ideally, they should, because it's still a second string New Zealand series, that they're punched above their weight, what they usually do, what you expect from the New Zealand sides of the past as well. But it's still a second string side with not many players, not many experienced players, and they depend on 4 or 5 of them. So if India get it right, they should come out on top. But having said that, I think New Zealand outsmarted India in the second game in terms of the number of sweeps and reverse sweeps they played. If you look at the stats, I think India played only one sweep or reverse sweep, and New Zealand had, I think, something like 14.7% of the runs they scored was through sweeps and reverse sweeps. In modern times, this has become one of the main strokes, especially with spinners bowling quicker through the air and trying to get turn at pace. So I think that is why foreign teams are coming over to India and winning a few more matches, because the batters are outsmarting the Indian batters when it comes to these two strokes. And also, India also have to look at the two spinners, even more than Paces and others. That is basically Jadeja and Kuldeep Yadav. I will keep it straight. I don't know what else can I say, because Ravindra Jadeja basically tried to slow down the pace, but it basically came out as slow left arm nothing, because he didn't get much reps on the ball. It was not getting any dip on the ball. So he is someone, I think, under pressure, because his batting as well has not been great. I think the last time he scored a 15 ODI cricket in home conditions was way back, perhaps in 2013, and the last time he scored an ODI 50 maybe was in 2020. So he's under pressure, and also the same can be said about Kuldeep Yadav. Maybe it is because he's played too much of limited overs cricket. He's not imparting the kind of reps that you expect from a bowler like Kuldeep Yadav. So these two spinners have to do well in home conditions, and then I think we expect India to win this game, because on an overall basis, India still have more class than the second string New Zealand side.
Looking forward to the T20I series, Shubhayan. Shreyas Iyer coming in for. You've got two, injured players in the team at this point. You've got Washington Sundar and Tilak Verma, who have been ruled out of the series. Ravi Bishnoi and Shreyas Iyer come in. Shreyas Iyer, a good comeback for him as well. How are you looking at his, coming back into the T20I series?
No, Shreyas absolutely deserves it. Shreyas has done nothing wrong even before the selection of the T20 World Cup. It was unfortunate that he was injured at that point in time. Otherwise, he could have really pushed his case for the T20 World Cup as well. Considering Surya's form has been very off, although you don't change the captain at last moment, but still, had Shreyas been fit, it would have been a really last push for that Indian middle order spot. But happy for him, he's a deserving candidate. That's why you won't see any uproar on or outrage on social media, because he absolutely deserves it. My only question is the lack of clarity around picking Ravi Bishnoi. Yes, many are saying that Ravi Bishnoi is just a googly bowler. He will take the ball away from the left-handers, and there's possibly a like for like replacement for Washington Sundar. But I am sorry, in whatever regard, if you say Bishnoi and Washington Sundar are like for like players, then I won't agree for that fact. See, my point is simple. Kuldeep is whoever is picked in that backup role, he won't get a chance in the playing 11, because even Kuldeep Yadav is not a surety in the 11 right now. Kuldeep is not playing. He's warming the bench in the T20I format. So my point is around the lack of clarity around continuation. In the last series, you brought in Shahbaz Ahmed in place of Akshar Patel, which I feel was a like for like replacement. I can understand, but and you don't have an off spin all rounder. You can't say you don't have an off spin all rounder in the domestic setup. This is the time, you can bring in someone in the squad, and look at him, how he's preparing, how he's bowling in the nets, how his attitude is, how his discipline is. It is time for the selection committee or the team management to say, okay, we have seen Bishnoi has not, he has not been in the same rhythm as he was when he broke into the scene after the Under 19 World Cup. He has moved to Gujarat, he has scored some handy runs, but he's still conceding 70, 80 runs in Vijayazare trophies in his 10 over quotas for Gujarat. So I don't think whether those numbers, he's a quality bowler, yes, but I don't think those numbers merit a place in the national setup just before the T20 World Cup. I mentioned Tanush Kotian. If you are looking for like replacement, Tanush Kotian could have been an option for the Indian team, just for that backup spot. But I don't know. I'm seriously, worried about the lack of clarity. I don't know what Shahbaz Ahmed. You will see the interview tomorrow, but I don't know what his mindset would be right now. I was part of the T20I series last time when a player was ill, but suddenly I'm not even called when a player is genuinely injured and is out of the entire series. So I don't know what the clarity is around these selections.
it's quite puzzling. It is
Hmm,
quite
it is.
puzzling. Showing on a lighter note, who is more like for Washington Sundar? Is it Ayush Badoni or Ravi Bishnoi? Which one?
Even
What
Ayush
does I
Baduni is not an off spinner. He's a part timer.
what does Ayush Badoni do? You brought in someone to replace Washington Sundar, and who was supposedly a like for like, and you couldn't give him a game, which means the team management, the team doesn't trust him. The team doesn't trust his
Shamika,
skill
you
set.
never know. Tomorrow there is a game.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the last game. I'm talking about
Yeah.
Rajkot, where India, and I asked this question to Tendo, and Tendo admitted that yes, we were a spinner short on this pitch. We were a spinner short on this pitch. Tendo admitted that. So when you are admitting that you were a spinner short, why didn't you give Ayush Badoni his debut? Because you didn't trust his skill set. New Zealand gave the debut to Jaden, and he returned with 42 runs for a wicket from 10 overs. And not only that, he was given the 48th over, which means the belief is when you are here, you are good enough, or you were supposed to be good enough. So Ayush Badoni was included in the squad under the assumption that he should be good enough, which clearly was not the case. Because if you are good enough, he should have been given the game instead of Nitish Kumar Reddy, who just bowled, who was a square peg in a round hole. Nitish Kumar Reddy clearly was a square peg in a round hole. And even after the game, Tendo was frustrated. He said, "We are giving him chances and he is not turning up." So, which a clear sign the Indian team management, who said that we are investing on Nitish Kumar Reddy not many months ago, they are gradually losing faith in the player. So Nitish Kumar Reddy on that pitch, on that sluggish pitch, he was a square peg in a round hole. You couldn't give him more than 22 overs. As a batsman, when he came, he had the opportunity to bat for 10 to 12 overs with KL playing that well at the other end. All he needed to do is to give him company and stitch a partnership. And then, yeah, it could have been a match winning total. He failed. He failed. So Nitish Kumar Reddy, I don't know why he is still with the team. What exactly is his role? And going by Tendo's version, even the team management started losing faith. So from that point of view, like for like Ravi Bishnoi, I don't know whether someone has sent a new playing conditions to or some new guidelines to Ajit Agarkar mailbox that you cannot pick two left-arm spin bowling all-rounders. Is there an embargo? Why not Shahbaz? Shahbaz should have been the backup,
Why
irrespective
not
of the
Rinku
fact.
Singh? Rinku Singh is bowling off
No,
spin for Newton, scoring tons of runs. He can be a
yes,
finisher as
Rinku.
well if you want.
Yeah, yes. Rinku, you are talking about the ODIs, right? Rinku would have been a far better choice than Ayush Badoni. As regards T20Is, Rinku is already there, and he would be one of the all-rounders.
Yes, in
So,
ODI.
yeah, in ODIs, so Rinku would have been a better choice. So, this, I don't know whether there is an embargo that you cannot play two left-arm spin bowling all-rounders. I think, if it is really not permissible, then I have no choice. But Shehbaz, what did Ravi Bishnoi do? What has he done, Ravi Bishnoi, to earn an India recall? Tell me.
Shomik, I guess you'll just have to ask these questions in Nagpur now. You'll you'll have to go there, sit in the presser, and tell everyone, you know what, I've got 5 questions. You've got to listen to me at this point. But Bharat, there's Pratik Jain in the comment section. He really wants to know because he sent us about 20 comments already. Kuldeep Yadav hasn't upgraded his skills at all, and that's exactly why a batter like Daryl Mitchell keeps smashing him around with ease. It's embarrassing how predictable and ineffective he's been.
I don't think it's the right way to look at. Actually, he's upgraded his skills. He's trying to ball quicker through the air. He has one maybe kind of seam up delivery as well these days. I think that is what somewhere has perhaps gone against him. If you really want to look at Kuldeep Yadav at present, I think he's maybe too much. He has played too much of limited overs cricket, and that is why somewhere he's trying to ball too quick through the air. and he might have lost a little bit of refs on the ball. Even in the Gawati test, it felt like that. He was trying to give her, but she was not imparting much refs on the ball, and Marco Jensen just treated him like almost like a left arm wrist slow spinner. That's all. He was not doing much. He was not getting any dip. Maybe it is because he's played too much of limited overs cricket, too much of ODI cricket in the recent past, a little bit of T20 ice as well. Maybe that has kind of gone against him. He has actually upgraded his skills in for ODI cricket, for limited overs cricket. That is why he was able to make a comeback into India's limited over setups, especially in the T20 setup. And you have to give credit to Daryl Mitchell as well. I think he's a very, very good player of spin. One of New Zealand's, genuinely feel he's one of New Zealand's best players of spin, at least over the 34 years of cricket that I've watched. Yes, I watched the likes of Martin Cross and Kane Williamsons. Even if you compare those guys with Daryl Mitchell, especially, I'm only talking about spin. I think he's an incredibly good player of spin, uses his reach well, is able to pick the length really well. That is why he's able to use the depth of the crease. He's very good at handling the or using the sweeps and reverse sweeps. So basically, explores every nook and cranny of the ground against spin bowling. And I think he's a top player. So some credit has to go to someone like Daryl Mitchell as well, because he doesn't really play against the turn. He plays with the turn. He's very free cricketer, but still scores at such a good strike rate against spin bowling. The final analysis would be, I think Kuldeep Yadav tried to upgrade his limit over skills, and that is why somewhere he's lost his, what can you say, salient features that made him a good bowler at the start of his career. That is basically imparting more reps on the ball.
Yep. And, when it comes to the under 19 game, the game is back on. Unfortunately, Ambrish has lost his wicket. So it's Abhigyan and Khilan Patel out there right now. Batting, let's see how many runs, India can put on the scoreboard. Hopefully, no more rain and it doesn't become a DLS affected game, because that would mean that Bangladesh has the advantage going forward. But Shubha, in the next topic that I wanted to talk about, last round of questions before we close the show, Arshdeep Singh on the bench still. Tomorrow, how do you see this playing out? Do you see a Prasidh Krishna sitting out and possibly Arshdeep Singh coming in?
Uh, Again, I mean, lack of clarity. Whether you want to protect a player for the T20 World Cup. I mean, Varun Chakravarti is not part of this ODI squad, but he's playing Vijay Hazare Trophy. Akshar Patel is not part of the T20I squad. He's playing Vijay Hazare Trophy. So if there's a onus or there's talks about protecting your T20 World Cup bound players, then they should be completely rested and not play even domestic cricket. Players can pick injuries in domestic cricket as well. So if Arshdeep is part of the squad, and he's running the waters, he's practicing, he's bowling it in nets, then I don't think this logic of resting or being careful about T20 World Cup bound players is there. That logic does not exist. So if Arshdeep is part of your squad and he has done nothing wrong in white ball cricket in whatever chances he has got, even in ODI cricket, his economy, Shamikda wrote today about his economy rate, Prasidh Krishna's economy rate. So I think it is a bit confused in my opinion. Be it the selection, starting from the selection process to a player being part of the 11. There are Ryan and Deshkate come and blame Nitish Kumar Reddy after a couple of poor innings where he's batting at number 7, bowling 2 overs. Not only a couple of, even after one match. If Ryan coming from Ryan, I felt those comments were pretty surprising, because he knows how tough he has in his international career, in his franchisee career. Ryan Deshkate also played a similar kind of role, batting at 6, 7, bowling a couple of overs if need be. So he knows how tough it is to create an impact in those 2 overs. If your captain is not trusting you uh, in giving you overs, then I think the management and the captain needs to sit and see where you want your players, not only Nitish, but where you want your selected players to be, and what their role is in the playing 11. So for Arshdeep also, if he's part of the squad and if he's not playing, then I find it very, very baffling. Yes, you want to give Prasidh Krishna a run of game as well, run of games as well, but at the same time, you are making someone who has produced wickets, who has produced crunch moments, who has given you. Uh, wins or helped your team win in tough situations, not only in ODI format but in T20I format as well. But ultimately, you are benching him and reducing his confidence, reducing his continuity. When Arshdeep plays the 5 T20Is, he can be a bit rusty because he has been with the team for a month's time, and he has not bowled a single over in the match. So I find it the entire process a bit baffling, start from the start to the end.
How do you see this playing out, Shomik? Because you were in the press conference as well. Mohammad Siraj did speak about it. Obviously, did not say anything, but what are your thoughts? How will this play out?
Mohammad Siraj was asked about whether he would be better off with Arshdeep as his new ball partner. Obviously, he spoke about Nitish Rana. Now, Nitish Rana, once again, that
Harshit,
confusion Shubhan spoke about.
Harshit
If
Rana.
you are
Rashid.
sorry, I'm so sorry. Yeah, Harshit Rana. So once again, that confusion. If you want to rest your T20 World Cup bound the players who are at the T20 World Cup, then rest Harshit Rana also. If you are going into the game under the apprehension that someone can pick up an injury and could be ruled out for the World Cup, you cannot play cricket that way. So from that point of view, Siraj also was effusive in his praise for Arshdeep Singh. Now it defies logic unless you are protecting him. And I don't know why are you protecting him for the T20 World Cup. He is not a three-format player. So from so if you are uh, not playing Arshdeep Singh and giving game time to Prashit Krishna, that defies logic. Tomorrow they are going to do the course correction in all likelihood. Tomorrow, in all likelihood, Arshdeep is going to play until the team sheet is out, until the final 11 is out. I will not guarantee that because you don't know the thought process of this Indian team or the team management. But tomorrow, very likely, Arshdeep will replace Prashit Krishna. And even after that, if you bring on Ayush Badoni, see, you are throwing him in at the deep end. You are throwing him at the deep end in a series decider. And then if he concedes, suppose he is bowling 4 overs and concedes 40 runs, he would be the villain. You have a perfect opportunity to bed him in at Rajkot, where you could afford to lose, and you lost the game. You didn't do this. So this confusion. I mean, I don't know what is the thought process where, because clearly, Nitish Rana, Shubhan mentioned. I also mentioned
Harshit Rana.
Shubman Gill. I'm so sorry. Now, the other guy, I mean, Nitish Kumar Reddy.
Nitish Reddy.
It is very confusing, Shubhan. Nitish Reddy and Harshit Rana, and there is
How
another
is it
Nitish.
confusing? Two very different names, two very different surnames.
No, there is one Nitish Rana also, not in the Indian team,
And
but
that
in the
is
periphery, there is one. So it is very confusing. Actually, I am hit by peak Gargison. I am actually hit by peak
I
Gargison.
don't have anything to do with this. What do you mean? Why am I being brought into this?
thankfully, you did not say Nitish Kumar.
Nitish Kumar. So what? And the captains don't trust him. Nitish Reddy, be it Shubman Gill, 2 overs here, be it Rishabh Pant in the Guwahati Test as a captain, where he was playing as a genuine all-rounder, and he was barely given a ball by Rishabh Pant, and Rishabh Pant was the captain. So irrespective of captains, they don't trust Nitish Kumar Reddy as a bowler. Now, Harshit Rana, the team has a clear role for him that he is going to be groomed as an all-rounder at number 8, and he is developing steadily. It's one positive that he is developing steadily. Now, why you have taken Arshdeep Singh, and Arshdeep Singh could have, I mean, while climbing a flight of stairs, he could stumble and pick up an injury. So you are not playing him under the pretext that he might pick up an injury, could be ruled out for the T20 World Cup. Cricket or any sport, it doesn't happen that way. You have not playing him and playing Prashit Krishna in the first 2 games defied logic. Hopefully, there will be a course correction tomorrow.
Bharat, before I close the show, Arshdeep or Prasid, who would you go with tomorrow?
Mute.
You're on mute. Yeah.
Maybe it is because with T20 World Cup on the horizon, they're thinking of resting him. See, if you look at it from the other side, Prasidh Krishna did take 4 wickets in the game against South Africa. Then he took 2 wickets in the game against New Zealand, first ODI. And then in the last game, it was more about spinners who really bowled badly. So I don't think he's bowled badly in the last 3 games. He's taken 7 wickets. And it's not like he's keeping out Wasim Akram on the sidelines. Yeah, Arshdeep Singh is a good bowler. He can come in the equation and replace him, but I don't see a massive difference between either Arshdeep Singh or Prasidh Krishna when it comes to bowling in home conditions. One bowler is slightly better in terms of economy rate. The other bowler is slightly better when it comes to, I think, wicket-taking ability, which you can see with Prasidh's figures, 23 games, 41 wickets at a strike rate of about 26. So I think there's not much of a difference. If Arshdeep Singh comes in, then good for him because I think he brings in the left arm angle. But I do believe India are looking at the T20 World Cup and kind of resting him. And also you have to remember that someone like Harshit Rana also goes at over 6 runs per over. His economy rate is 6.06. So if you're going to blame one bowler for economy rate, and the other bowler has exactly the same economy rate of 6.06. Both of them have exactly the same strike rate. So you have to blame both Harshit and Prasidh then in terms of economy rate. So I think that's the problem. One bowler, Arshdeep, has a better economy rate. And on the other side, Harshit and Prasidh, I think, are slightly better when it comes to wicket-taking ability. So I think in my opinion, humble opinion, it's a marginal selection in ODI cricket. In T20 cricket, Arshdeep Singh is way better than either Harshit or Prasidh.
All right, final super chat before we leave. Rajesh Subramanian is saying, expecting one more 100 from KL Rahul tomorrow. For the amount of unnecessary hate he gets, I would like him to keep rising before the end of his career. I think end of the career is a long way for KL Rahul still. But yes, he's been performing brilliantly, has been one of the consistent batters for Team India. And hopefully we get to see some incredible batting from him tomorrow as well. But thank you so much, Shubhayan, Bharat, and Shomik for joining. We'll be back tomorrow. And of course, Rohit will be back as the game ends between India under 19 and Bangladesh under 19. He'll be live on Hindi as well. So don't forget to join them then.